Today I went to my local grocery store here in Medellín, Colombia, and had just a harassing experience with the grocery store. So here's the grocery store that I stopped in. It's in La America, Medellín, which is a very local neighborhood here, unlike the expat neighborhoods that I normally shop in and live in. So I walked into the store, got my cart, and went down the first aisle, picked up a couple of things, and then turned down the second aisle and just had a weird feeling about the security guard that was standing there. Like, he was just watching me, he was all in the way, very rude, just like, not in terms of what he said to me, but his body posture. Normally security guards kind of move out your way. And so I went down the aisle, and then I saw him again on the other aisle, and I was like, is this guy following me? So by the time I got to this aisle, I realized I was being followed. And so this was a second security guard, and she was kind of creepy, y'all. Like, she was like standing there, she was standing in the way. It is clear, you can't see from this, but I have on a dress. Medellin, people don't wear dresses here. Like, I am clearly presenting, I am not from this area and not a threat. But they were harassing me and following me around the whole store. And this is her again. She's just constantly in the way, just circling around me. It was really, really obnoxious. This guard was standing actually in front of the aisle, like his back against the front of the store, and the cashiers were there, and he was staring down the aisle at me, and I was just looking at him, like watching me, and I'm like, why are these people, instead of following the other people in the store that normally steal from you, are you following someone like me that is, I don't even see people really in this community that look like expats. So he stayed there for a bit, and then he walked away, and I think he went back to the front of the store. So this is a rare occurrence that happens to me, has happened to me in Medellin, although I do get followed around here. But this was really, I find that when there's younger people that tend to, maybe they find it as a joke, or, and because I don't speak full Spanish and I can't hear what they're saying into the mics, who knows what they're saying or doing. But this type of purposeful harassment continues to happen, and I will say that as a person who's traveled solo most of the time, this happens a lot to me. My friends who are living abroad as expats who are lighter skinned, I'm darker skinned, they don't have these same incidents. However, I've not met one person who has not been followed around in a store in Latin America, not one. And so I'm creating these videos to really talk about what the reality of living here is, and not necessarily kind of the everything is perfect and wonderful here and everybody loves us, because it's just not the truth. And so my example of that is, so after I left this grocery store, after being harassed, I walked across the street to a bakery. And I walk into the bakery, and there's this police officer standing there, and he kind of has this stance, and I think, oh boy, I just want to get something to eat and go home. And so he's just staring at me, and then I realized, oh, okay, he's in line. I didn't know, he just came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, he's in line. And so he ordered some coffee and a pastry, and then I went up to the counter, and I started to order, and they were doing some other stuff, and so he begins to ask me where I'm from, how long have I been here, and so he's like flirting with me. He's asking me, like, am I going for a walk, how long am I gonna be here? He's being like super friendly / flirty, and the people behind the counter, we end up laughing and joking because I don't have any cash on me. All I have is coins and pesos. And if you don't know much about the denominations here, like, things are usually in thousands or meals. And so my two pastries, which had ham in them, they're like little croissant sandwiches. It had ham and cheese, and the cheese was so good. Were like 2,500 pesos, which is only like, that's not even $1. It was like, I think maybe, I don't even know what that is, like 75 cents. It's like 4,000 pesos is about $1, or it was at one point. And so we're sitting there like counting out all of these coins, laughing, And and the police officer is like joining in. And so I give that example, not to talk about me going and buying pastries and meeting a police officer, but to say that you'll have these like terrible experiences where people are harassing you, like this guy or this young lady here. I'm creating these videos to give real life experiences here and how things are not perfect anywhere you travel. And although I'm talking about Medellín, Colombia, this is actually the mildest form of colorism and harassment that I've received being abroad. I have plenty of other stories to share, which I will share with you, but I will say by far, colorism has been a very, very big issue for me in Latin America, and I want to be able to share those experiences, and especially for women who are traveling solo, who may be dark-skinned, and who may present younger, because that has a big part of it too. So I'll be presenting information and experiences here. Just like I'll show you the negative, I'll also show you the positive. So follow me.